Okay, gents and ladies, 10 things you need to start your pressure washing business. And these are needs. These are not wants. These are not anything else. This is what I did. I actually probably did more than this, but I'll go into recommendations of equipment and stuff like that in another post and video. But today I just wanted to cover the must-haves to start a pressure washing business and get to your first customer um, right now as quickly as possible. This is what you need to get going. Obviously, probably, you need a pressure washer and hose. Seems obvious, but let me tell you a little bit about what you need. If you're doing this as a business, get a belt-driven pressure washer. Why a belt-driven? Long story short, they last longer by far. They're easier on the engine, easier on the pump, and you'll have it for years. Mine is, oh geez, I don't even know, 20 years old, something like that. I've only had it for X amount of time, but that brings up a good point, and that is you don't need to buy new. You can find used equipment. Now I have replaced the pump. The pump is brand new, and I did that myself. But there are still ways, good equipment for not an exorbitant amount of money. Well, like I said, we'll go over that later. But you need at least, at minimum, 3,000 psi and 3 gallons per minute as a bare minimum. My 2 pressure washers are both 4,000 and 4 gallons per minute. That's minimum. You need a pressure hose that is rated at least a little bit more than the pressure you can possibly put through it. You don't want it to burst. Most of them are that come out. You don't want ag hose. You don't want something that's rated for 175 pounds and try to push 3,000 pounds of pressure through it. That's all I mentioned that for. And I would recommend at minimum 100 feet. I like to use about 150 with the setup I have for residential. I've yet to run into a property that doesn't get me all the way around without having to reposition. Maybe I need to get bigger houses. Anyway, it's very rare that I have to reposition with 150 feet of hose. And with a pump that big, pushing that much pressure and gallons per minute, you can run that much length of hose with no problem. With the little smaller ones, they might start having trouble getting water and chemical out through the end at that length, but that's another reason to get the minimum 3,000 3 gallons per minute. You need a pickup truck or a tow vehicle with a trailer. You need something to carry your equipment in. That's just the reality. I think I mentioned before, maybe not, but I have used SUVs as tow vehicles. I've used it as just the, put the stuff in the back. And what I like best is a pickup truck because I can put everything in the bed. I was towing a trailer with a pickup truck, and I was like, this was just redundant for the residential ones because I use the same things all the time. I do the same process all the time. That's another video and an ebook later to come. I can show you exactly what I do, tell you exactly what I do and how I set up my business to make the $200 an hour that I was talking about before. It's not hard. It does take some work, and but that'll be later. Pickup truck. I put everything in the bed. I can access it easily. I even leave my pressure washer in there, and that's another reason for the 150-foot hose, is I leave it right at the back. I start it up, and I don't have to move it anywhere, and it's, I just go clean the house. And then when I'm done, I can just put everything back in. You need a commercial grade spray gun. Plain Jane's fine. It does not have to be a name. It doesn't have to have any special features. You just need to be able to pull it and have it work. Inside those is just a valve. but it gets a lot of wear. So you want a quality one. You want one made for daily use. The one that comes with a pressure washer, probably it'll work, and if it comes with one, use it until it breaks, but you will be replacing it. And you'll replace the commercial ones after a lot of use. But get one, even right away, even if it comes with one, go get another one. So if it does break while you're in the middle of the job, you don't have to stop. Time is money. You don't want to have to stop. Ask me how I know this. It's happened, and it will happen. So you want to be prepared for these things. Now, the things that stop you in the middle of a job are usually the same things over and over and over. So that's part of why I put some of this stuff as the must-haves and needs for starting your business before you get to your first customer. So that was the spray gun. You need 2 wands. Wand is the piece that connects from the gun out to the tip. And I have, basically I always use 2. Really I only use 1, but I have the second one that plugs into the other end of the one I normally use to give me extra length or distance, or get me into an area that's hard to reach or something like that. It's just nice to have. And one's like 2 feet and one's like 3 feet. But together it gives me 5 feet of reach. So when I'm fully extended in my arm, it gives me about 11 feet in the air or something like that. Anyway, or across bushes or all sorts of stuff. You need an assortment of male and female 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch fittings for the wands, the guns, the hoses, the pressure washer. They do wear out, they do leak, they do break. Manufacturing wise, they might have a crack in them or something like that, and you're leaking water, etc., etc. Along with that, you need an assortment of Viton O-rings. Even though we're not using heat, we are using chemical, and the Viton O-rings hold up better, and some Teflon tape for the threads, because you can take them on and off quite a bit and reuse them, and if you use Teflon tape, you don't have to wear them out. That being said, to make in-field repairs, you need an assortment of tools, pliers, wrenches, screwdrivers of different sizes, and a BFH, or a big hammer. Just because. You never know what you can fix. My motto is, when in doubt, grab a bigger hammer. It works a lot more than you think it would. You need, number 7, a downstream chemical injector. We are using chemical. This is the fastest, the cheapest, the best way I found to clean is to use chemical. It is 100% biodegradable. It will not harm plants if you take care. If you don't overuse the chemical. And honestly, I've doused plants by accident. I've bleached grass one time, and it's because my bottle fell over and it bleached the grass white. Fortunately, it was a subcontracting thing for a landscaper. He said, don't worry about it. But that's the only incident I've had with harming plants with the chemical, which is SH or bleach. SH is short for sodium hypochlorite. We'll get to that in a second. Number 8, nozzles and tips. You only need the following tips. There's a white tip that is a 40-degree spray. That's really all you need. With this much pressure and gallons per minute, you can get off anything off concrete, brick, whatever else. And using the 40 tip assures you that you're not going to damage something. And I say assure, but you can still damage stuff. But it makes it less likely. The other tip that you must have and need is a black tip or a soap tip. That's the one with a big wide open nozzle, and that's to deliver chemical on the first floor and windows and whatever else you're spraying on the chemical. Then the next tip you need is a pink tip. It is, or sometimes they're orange, or yeah, orange and pink are the only colors I've seen them in. They're called a second story tip. You will not find these when you get your pressure washer. They don't normally come with them, but you can find them at a Tractor Supply store or places that sell pressure washing equipment other than Walmart or, I don't think Home Depot might have them, but Sherwin-Williams paint stores, places like that do have some commercial pressure washing stuff, usually have these second story tips. That is how I make my money. So go ahead and that's a freebie right there. Second story tips. There are others, but you don't really need them. Every once in a while, I might use a green tip. I very, very, very rarely use a yellow one, because now you're getting to 15 degrees and you can really start damaging stuff if you don't know what you're doing. I don't recommend them for the person just starting out learning the business. Technique is huge in this business, and it will help you make a lot of money, but if you don't have good technique, or you're just starting out and don't have technique, it can cost you a lot of money. So just stick with the white tip. It reduces the risk. Now, the pressure washer you get, whether it's new or used, will probably come with a red tip. Throw the red tip away. Do not use the red tip. There is zero reason in this business to use a red tip. The only thing a red tip does is damage stuff. That's it. You can cut through vinyl with this pressure and gallons per minute. I've seen it cut fingers, not off, but cut you physically. It leaves gouge marks in concrete and brick and all sorts of stuff, and it just costs you money. It's damage. Throw it away. You don't need to use it. It's not even fun to play with because it's uncontrollable. It's worthless. There are other options for really tough stuff that I'll get into down the road. But to start your business, throw away the red tip. Save yourself some money and aggravation and customers. Number 9, you need soap. What do I use? I just mentioned it earlier. SH. Outdoor bleach is what you can get at Home Depot or other places. Lowe's has their own brand. Home Depot has their own brand. Another option is, and I am not an EPA guy, I'm not a legal person, anything like that, but the same exact thing in that bottle of outdoor bleach is in what's called chlorinating liquid. And since our season usually runs, I mean, you can pressure wash year round. I'm not looking for an argument. I'm just saying, starting out, basically the season is the same time as swim season. So chlorinating liquid for pools, you can find the strength you need. The outdoor bleach and that usually come in 10%, which is pretty much the minimum standard for what you're doing, which is cleaning, usually vinyl, green stuff off the sides of houses and buildings and stuff. So 10% concentration. There's info out there and other videos. The stuff that you get at Dollar Tree, it just doesn't work. It's too diluted. I've tried it. The next step up is like regular Clorox bleach you can get at the grocery store. Concentrated is the next step up, concentrated Clorox. And when I have been stuck out in the field and I've run out for whatever reason, that is the bare minimum. That or germicidal bleach will do, but it's going to take you longer. So outdoor bleach, chlorinating liquid, pool shock, stuff like that. It's a higher concentration and it works better. The higher the concentration, the better. You will ruin clothes. I'll get to how to not do that in a future video. But if you wear cotton, it will get bleached. It will get holes in it. Just so you know, you're going to ruin some clothes and you're going to smell like bleach. But to me, these days, bleach smells like money. Okay. With that, also, you need a surfactant. Dawn or Gain dish soap, something along those lines. You mix in about a half a cup per gallon or a quarter cup per gallon, something like that. And what that's for is to stick it and make it spread as it is on the side of the building. We'll get into technique on how to do that in some other post. And then one thing, the last thing that you need in order to make money in this business, you need some kind of surface cleaner attachment. There are 15-inch ones, 17-inch ones. I have an 18-inch one that goes directly onto the end of the wand, so I can take it on and off. I don't have to slow down. It's not one of these big monster things, because I'm not doing commercial properties. I'm not doing a tennis court. I'm usually doing a sidewalk, maybe a driveway, and this thing, it's got 4 wheels. It's 18 inches. It bangs stuff out. It still saves so much time. It's my favorite piece of equipment, but it's absolutely necessary to make money. And again, in the ebook and future videos, I will tell you how to do that. Right now, this is just focused on what is the minimum amount of equipment that you need. Now, the surprise on this, I say this is the minimum of what you need to get a business started. This is my setup to this day. This is what I have honed it down to. When I first started, I got a heater, I got all sorts of stuff, and all that was, once I realized how I wanted to focus my business, what my niche was going to be, I didn't need a heater. I didn't need the fancy hoses. I didn't need the fancy wands. I didn't need all this extraneous stuff. And I've honed it down to this, and this is literally the setup I use every single time I go out to do a house. And I get, because of technique and practice and all that, I get $200 an hour. I've done the math numerous times, and it started out like $100 an hour, but you'll get there. You'll get faster. I'm just as effective. I'm just, and with the surface cleaner, that's all add-on stuff, and it's bonus money. And people are happy to pay for it. This is an exciting business. This is a good business to get into. You can make money. It's not super hard, and now you know all you really need to get going. So, hope this helped. If you liked it, click like, comment below. I really appreciate your time. Follow me, and I have a blog out there. It's called Pressure Washing Startup. Or no, there's not even a duh on it. It's just called Pressure Washing Startup. I'll put a link below, and have a great day. Go wash some stuff. Take the chance. I did, and it's turned out really well. You can replace your income. You can do this full time, but even part time, you can make quite a bit. So we'll go over some money some other time. Have a great day.